Hi, this is Andrew, working on some statistics homework. Tonight I'm going to work on a cumulative frequency distribution. My homework problem has 10 different scores on it. I'm going to use an online program to help me with this called cram101.com. It's a lot easier than using a spreadsheet because everything's already formatted for you. So let's go to cram101.com. And this is the menu for the stats lab, and we need the cumulative frequency distribution. So that's right here. Click on that. And the first thing they're going to ask us for is the number of data points in our distribution, and my homework has 10. So let's select 10. And then we need to enter our information into the data table. We can select random data if we just want to practice, or fixed data, which is an example that Graham provides. But we're just going to put in our homework. Okay, so the first value is 94, 42, 41, 22, 93, 42, 16, 71, 60, and 53. Okay, so we have our data entered into the table, and the next step would be to order the data numerically. So we want to put it in numerical order. Clicking that, Cram does it already for you. So it goes from the lowest value, which is 16, to the highest value of 94. And then we need to determine the number of intervals. It's often easier, I should say, to group the data into smaller buckets so you can better get the characteristics of the distribution. The value you choose is purely arbitrary. The fewer the intervals, the less information, and so forth. So we're just going to pick 5. And we have the upper limit of the distribution is 94. The lower limit is 16. And then the range of the distribution is 78, which is 16 from 94. The interval size, or sometimes we call it interval width, is 16. So we're taking our value of 5, dividing it into 78, and rounding it up. That gives us our 5 intervals. The first interval, which would contain the value in our lower limit of 16. You can see we don't use 16, we use 15.5. We subtract 0.5 from each of the intervals to ensure that each score, each score goes into a unique interval. So we have 15.5 to 31.5. So the next step we want to do is actually get the frequencies for each of those intervals. And that's basically looking at our scores to see how many of them we have that fits into this interval. We'll just click frequency. And it says that we have 2. So let's see, 15.5 to 31.5. We have the first 2 fit, the third one does not. Therefore, we have a number 2 here as our frequency count. So we have 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. These are frequencies. Cumulative frequency, which is the next part, is basically looking at the number of scores that follow in the particular interval you're in and those below it. So in the first case, the cumulative frequency for the first interval will be the same as the frequency, which is 2. In the second interval, we have 5, since we have 3 in that particular interval plus the 2 before. And then we have the next interval, 7, which is the 2 that's in the interval plus the 5 below it. And so on until we get to the total number of scores, which is 10. And that gives us our cumulative frequency table. Now I like to plot things out because I get a better idea of what these things look like. You can plot these out as a histogram, or which is typical for cumulative frequency distributions, a polygon, which gives you the shape of the curve. You can see as we get to the last interval, we've accounted for all of our scores. And that's how you get a cumulative frequency distribution table and plot. Thank you.